Good morning, beautiful people. My name is Emilio. Welcome to another live session with me. Today, we are going to be talking about metacognition. Okay, this is an executive functioning skill. I would say it's probably one of the most important ones because metacognition means thinking about the way we think. Okay, so welcome, Jeanette from Ontario, Canada. Thank you for being here. Welcome, CJ, Loretta. Janet, where in Ontario are you? I am in Waterloo, Kitchener-Waterloo. So maybe we are even neighbors. That would be funny if you live like 3 houses away. Hello from Oakland, California. From Waterloo. Janet, do I know you? Maybe you know me. Um, I don't see your last name, so maybe not. Good morning from Victoria. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm still impressed every day I do a live on how easy it is to connect from all over the world. So that's amazing. No, I don't think I recognize that last name, but welcome to the session. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome from the Netherlands, Oregon. Sandy says, hi, Emilia. I was in lovely Barcelona last week. Wow. I'm jealous. That's awesome. I hope you enjoy my city. I am originally from Barcelona, so that's why. Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much. Today's session, it's a session out of my course, and I am. Okay. It's from a session from one of my courses. So if you wanna learn more about the course and all the executive functioning skills, you can take that course. It's called Understanding Your Executive Functioning Skills. Okay. You can also, for those of you who don't know, I do have a circle here on Insight Timer. It's called Your Thriving Lifestyle. Okay. Just type Your Thriving Lifestyle and you will find it. And I share resources in there. You can connect there. You can share. And also, if you take the course, there is a beautiful course classroom that you can take. Okay. And you can ask any questions and then I will record an audio for you. So, metacognition, how many of you guys are familiar with that skill? Okay. So Janet says, one of the reasons I follow you is because I saw you are a fellow Waterlooite. Yeah, we are neighbors. Buenos dias, Claudia. Good morning, Deborah. Yeah, so how many of you guys are familiar with metacognition? How many of you know what that is or have thought of it? I'm just curious to know if this is a word that it was new to me. I understood the concept of it, but the word itself. So thinking about thinking, nope, sounds interesting. I don't know. Yes. Okay, so some people say yes, some people say no. Beautiful. That's perfect. Only from you. Okay, Kelly, thank you. No idea. Amazing. So everything is welcome here. So metacognition means thinking about the way we think. It means being able to reflect about the way we behave, the way we act, the way we think. And majority of the times, I'm sure you guys have heard of the word my ego, my limiting beliefs, my shadows. There are so many, my resistance. There are so many names to name the things that are in the dark, the things that we don't see, the things that automatically happen. Okay? And we feel that we have no control over. But we do have control over if we become present, if we think about them, if we allow space to reflect, space to detach from ourselves, make some distance, and then we can recognize patterns, belief systems, ways on how we act that maybe we are not aware of. And we somehow learn them back in the day, maybe when we were little, or maybe we learn them along the way. Maybe we learn them in a job that we work at. Maybe we learn them from a person who was taking care of us when we were little, from a babysitter, from a teacher, from our parents. So there are lots of things that we learn and they become automatic behaviors for us and they just repeat on autopilot. Okay, so metacognition is our ability to shine the light on those things. Okay, so Deborah says, I teach psychology courses at a community college, so I am very familiar. Beautiful, Deborah. Thinking about your own thought processes. Amazing. So maybe you can even help me out during the session by adding stuff that you know that maybe I don't. So that's great. Thank you so much for being here. This is a conversation, and this is an opportunity for you to become aware of this skill. Okay? Why am I doing this about executive functioning skills? Why do I think this is important? And why did I decide to create this course? Guys, very important. I help people make change. I help people declutter their lives. I help people find their meaning, connect with the minimalism idea, connect with self-care, with mental health, manage their time with more intention. Okay? All those things, even organizing your paper, organizing your home, all those things require something from you. A change, a reflection, changing your routines, changing your habits, changing the way you think, changing your negative self-talk, your self-talk in general, finding meaning, finding motivation. So all those things are required for you to be able to make changes like decluttering your home, decluttering your paper, managing your time with more intention, communicating with other people with more intention and with more in an easier way, understanding your own needs, creating healthy boundaries about those needs. So there are so many things that we need to change to become aware of. So that's why this executive functioning skill of metacognition is so important. I will say that this skill probably goes hand in hand with majority of them, because when you are trying to work at complementing any of the other skills, you are going to be using metacognition for that. And how do we do metacognition? How can we connect with that skill? How can we allow ourselves the time to reflect? Mindfulness, self-care, doing something that allows you to spend time with yourself. Okay? So now that we are here and I see that there are some people here, let's just do a little practice with my singing bowl. Okay? And you may notice, if you are not new here, that I always try to do some sort of practice, just a few seconds, to allow you to breathe a few times, allow you to close your eyes, allow you to connect with the feel, with the way you feel, notice any tensions you may have, and listen to the singing bowl. And it's a way for you to disconnect from everything on the outside and allow yourself a little bit of serenity, a little bit of time, a little bit of space to reconnect with yourself. And when you can do that, then you can look at your life from a different perspective. Then you can look at the way you did things, at the way you reacted. You can notice how you feel. And from that place, you can start choosing something different. Okay? Okay, I'm going to stop talking now. I invite you to get comfortable. Okay? Do whatever you need to get comfortable. Maybe sit down. Maybe you need to stand and shake your legs. Close your eyes if you can. Closing your eyes allows you to remove all the visual stimulation, and you have an easier time to go inside. Sometimes putting music or blocking the noise is also helpful. And now connect with the singing bowl, with the sound of the singing bowl. Allow yourself to deep breathe a few times. And don't be shy to make a noise when you exhale. It just feels so good sometimes to just like, I invite you to do a quick body scan so that you can notice how you feel in your body. Any tensions you notice, any emotions you notice. You don't have to do anything with them, just observe them. If you notice tension, you can direct your intention and your attention to that tension. It can look something like you can inhale and you can visualize light, energy, whatever you want to visualize, going into that specific place of your body, and then doing its magic there. Maybe it's like rotating fast, or maybe expanding, or maybe whatever you visualize, like the healing or releasing that energy looks like to you. And then when you exhale, you can make a noise and you can visualize that tension just leaving your body. You can do that if you want. And when you feel complete, just come back to the session. I invite you to set an intention for this session. What would you like to get out of this session? Remind yourself, why did you decide to come to this session? It's truly important to do this. The more you do this throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your life, the more control you are going to have, the more control about your choices, not about the outcome of everything, about your choices. You have the power to decide what your intention is. This is another aspect of metacognition. You have your own choice, and you can choose something and you cannot choose something. So that's another thing that I talk about transitioning in a past session, and the way that we transition from task to task. Well, when you are transitioning and you are bringing presence and attention to that transition period of time, and you are reflecting about, what do I need to make this transition easier for me? You are using your metacognition skill. You are connecting with that present moment. You are noticing how you feel, what you need. And if something didn't go the way you liked, if you didn't enjoy something, instead of you being hard on yourself and criticizing yourself, metacognition is going to allow you to say, I didn't like that. So next time I am in that situation, what can I do different? This is metacognition in action. Maybe you are sitting down, maybe you have your eyes closed, and maybe you are visualizing an experience that you had, and you feel an emotional charge from that experience. Maybe you didn't know how to deal with it. Maybe that experience evoked something in you that you don't know how to manage. Maybe you felt uncomfortable. Maybe you felt that your needs were not met. Maybe you didn't even know what your needs were at that moment. So by you allowing yourself that time with yourself, with your eyes closed, and thinking and reflecting about that experience, then you are going to understand, you are going to become aware, you are going to notice. And from that place of acceptance, of just observing what happened without any judgment, without any, hopefully no an intense emotional charge, you are going to then decide, what can I do next time this happens to me? How will I act differently now if I could go back to that situation? And you are not trying to change the past here, okay? You are just trying to change your intention. You are just trying to change your choices. Next time this happens, I know I don't want to do the same thing because it didn't give me what I needed. It didn't create the result that I wanted. It didn't create the impact on other people that I was looking for. Okay? So next time I am going to try this. Just watch out. I am going to try this because you don't know if it's going to work. And this is where learning from our mistakes, it's also a part of metacognition. Sometimes we need to fail a few times for us to be able to move forward. If we don't allow ourselves space and time to fail, to try something and see how it works, many times we're going to feel stuck. I'm guilty of that. Emilio Perfection is right here in front of you. So many times I don't even get started because my perfectionism, my fear of failing, my fear of not being adequate, my fear of having someone pointing the finger at me and saying, Emilio, you fucked up. Emilio, you did that wrong. Emilio, who are you to be in front of me telling me things? That fear shows up, but you have a choice. Okay? What are you choosing? Are you choosing to progress? Are you choosing to learn? Are you choosing to try something new, something scary, something unfamiliar that may bring you a different result? Or are you choosing to do the same thing and get the same result and get stuck, be stuck in the same emotion, same feeling, same situation, same experience? So this is metacognition in action. So my question to you is, what do you choose? And you can choose whatever you want, okay? This is all on you. You don't have to change if you don't want to. Because at the end of the day, everything comes from between you. You need to have the desire to change. You need to have the willingness. You need to have the passion. You need to find those things in you. And then you're going to use metacognition to try and push forward. Metacognition also allows you to connect with what's inside you, because maybe you don't know. And so many times we don't know what's inside us because we don't have time. We don't spend enough time with ourselves. I don't know, you guys, like when you were growing up, like I never saw anyone around me do meditation. It was a weird concept. I wasn't taught about self-care and having my own self-care list. I wasn't taught that self-care was important, was a priority. I wasn't taught a lot of things that now I know. Some people, maybe they had the lack of being taught those things. Some people, maybe not. Everyone's situation is unique, okay? Every person's journey is unique. And that's why metacognition is the skill that is going to allow you to, first of all, become aware of your own situation. Where is this coming from? Okay? You will start questioning everything that you believe. Everything that you do on automatic pilot, you are going to start questioning. Why do I do this? Why do I feel this way about money? Why do I feel this fear when I have to stand up and talk in front of people? And there are legitimate reasons of why you may feel fear. Don't take me wrong. Like, I still remember the first time that Samantha came home and said, Emilio, I signed you up for a talk at the library. You're going to be talking about organizing your papers and digital files. Guess what came into my mind the first thing? It didn't come like, that's an amazing opportunity. I can't believe people are coming to see me and I'm going to be able to share what I have learned. No, that didn't come to my mind. My mind went to, oh my God, I'm going to fail in front of people. They're going to laugh at me. I'm not going to be good enough. Who am I? I have an accent. I have brown skin. I am not a Canadian. Do you know what I mean? My mind went on and on and on. So my metacognition was, okay, why am I feeling this? Is this real? Do people feel that way? So is this legitimate? And then you need to become aware of that. And you need to then decide. And I had to make a choice. Emilio, what are you doing? Are you not showing up and canceling that event? Or are you going to show up? Are you going to allow yourself to fail if you have to? Allow yourself to learn. Allow yourself to do whatever you need to do. Okay? And then I looked inside of me and I said, Emilio, who do you want to be? Do you want to be a leader? Do you want to be someone that shares what has learned from other people? Do you think what you have to share is it's going to help people? Yes, of course. I have done it for years. I know it works. So I made the choice of showing up. And I was nervous. I was sweating. I had a hard time, but I pushed through it. And then after that, a person came up and said, hey, I really enjoy your talk. Do you want to come to my group and talk there? And I said, wow, this is amazing. Clearly, it wasn't that bad. Clearly, people got value from it. So I say yes. And I was like, I had this note in my throat. I wanted to say, no, I want to go home. I want to get out of this. This is so uncomfortable. I say, yeah, sure. Send me the details. And then I went there by myself. That time it wasn't with my wife. It was just myself. And that was another barrier for me, right? Again, all these things are metacognition, guys. And I want to ask in the chat, how have you used your metacognition lately? Do you have any examples that you are willing to share? So April says, why do people have really bad thoughts? It just disabled your life. Yeah, April, this is called negative self-talk. This is called limiting beliefs. This is called inner child trauma. This is called your shadows. This is called your resistance. And there are many, many reasons of why we tend to go there. And this is why our work is to bring awareness and light to this darkness that we go into sometimes. And it is not justified. It is our brain going to the extreme. And I tend to do that all the time. I tend to go to the worst case scenario. And someone says the opposite. She goes to the best case scenario. And then it just blows my mind. And it triggers me so much because it's like, Sam, you are neglecting all these options. And she says, well, Emilio, you are neglecting all these options too. So then we try to meet in the middle. That's a beautiful synergy, right? Like she goes to the best case scenario, I go to the worst case scenario, and then together I ground her a little bit, and then she uplifts me up from my fear. And then we kind of find that happy balance that she's grounded enough to be able to take action, and I am pushed enough and comfortable, but not too much that I get frozen. So that's a constant work, and it's normal. And metacognition is going to allow you, April. Metacognition is the skill that is going to allow you to start noticing those voices, start noticing that negative self-talk, start noticing the things that you are telling yourself. And then you have a choice. Are you going to keep talking to yourself that way? Or are you going to start choosing something different? And if you start choosing something different, what is that? What is your intention? What is your mission? What are you trying to change, and why? And by you stating that, remembering that, making an affirmation and repeating that, bringing this to your practice, maybe go for a walk in nature and reminding yourself, I want to become this, I want to do this, I don't choose this in my life anymore. This is constant work. Why? Because guys, life happens. You make choices in the past, you learn things, you create beliefs, you create routines, habits, beliefs about yourself that are not true. And you live by those for so long. We all do. So you have a lot of work to undo. You need to pay attention to the way you think, the way you act. Why do you do that? Uncover all the stuff that is underneath. Accept it. Forgive yourself for it. Be empathetic. And then choose something different and have clarity and motivation to say, I want this. I don't want this. I want this. So now that I know what I want, how do I get started moving forward into that direction? So that's all those things are metacognition. Basically, metacognition is disconnecting from your past and all the emotional charts that you have with what happened, okay? Disconnecting from the future and all your need to have certainty, to control, all your expectations, even hidden expectations that you are not aware of, that creates anxiety on you, disconnecting from those two and coming to the present moment. The only true thing that we have, the present moment. And connecting with the present moment. And then from this present moment, disconnected from the anxiety, the depression, the stress, all the things that we have to do, from that place, then you set a new intention. You observe how you behave, how you act, how you think. And then you, with commitment, with passion, with motivation, you will tell yourself, I choose not to do that again. I choose not to talk to myself like this anymore. I choose not to believe this anymore about myself. Instead, I am in the process of, I choose this. And then write it down, create a life affirmation, create a life vision, a vision board, whatever you need, that you look at that thing and it's a reminder of the person you want to become, the things you want to change. Okay? So let me see what. So Deborah says, I wasn't taught any if that as a kid, but I was expected to always have self-control. So I am a very over-controlled adult. Thank you, Deborah, for sharing that. Caroline says, smile, not legitimate. Love your accent, and Canadians are so cool. Thank you, Caroline. Very, very glad you pushed through. You have so much to share. Thank you, Sharon. Imposter syndrome. Deborah says, if you constantly think about what you are thinking, what you are doing, and how you feel, meditation is essential for self-care. Yeah, Deborah, meditation is one tool, right? A beautiful tool. That meditation can mean something. It can mean so many different things, because meditation, and I show this. I show some examples in my course about self-care, and here on Inside Timer, you guys have access to so many different kinds of meditation. But in a meditation, you can use your metacognition skill to become aware, to visualize, to be grateful, to connect with our past experience and relive that past experience in a different way, to do a body scan and notice tensions that you may have in your body, to do breathing exercises and calm your nervous system, to create an affirmation and repeat it in your mind. There are so many things you can do in your meditation. So meditation can mean something completely different for each of you. Okay. Sharon says, my metacognition often goes negative first. Learning to notice sooner and disprove it. Journaling, track what I do, highlight all the amazing things I do, and help counter my initial negative thoughts, false beliefs. Beautiful, Sharon. Thank you for sharing. Aiden says, I used to beat myself up about days when I had little energy. Now I see it as a wonderful opportunity to rest and believe that my creativity and the way the chat is, the way I look at the world is evolving. Yeah, thank you so much, Aidan. And this is work that we are going to drop the ball all the time, okay? Because we are doing something different. We are trying to change. We are trying to create something different. So we're going to fail. And I don't see this as failing. I see this as, oh, wow, today I was aware for a minute. Great. Tomorrow I'm going to try and be aware for 1 minute and 10 seconds. And then maybe you do 2 meditations a day and you are very aware after the meditation, and then all of a sudden life goes by, and then you notice that you are going back to the way you react, the way you feel triggered, the way you expect things to happen. And then you stop for a second, you breathe a couple of times, and you realize, wow, I have been unconscious again for like 3 hours. I totally forgot to pay attention. I totally forgot to remind myself of the person I want to become. So this is going to happen, and it's normal. And this is that dance, okay? This is the dance of you are changing, you are making progress, but then when you are tired, when you don't have the time, when you become a little bit unconscious because life becomes too hectic, or your daughter is asking for you, or she gets sick, and then you are completely drained and tired, then you are going to drop the ball because you don't have a lot of energy to be present. So when you don't have enough energy, what happens is that you just go unconscious, and then what takes over? Anything that you have repeated for a long time that you don't have to think about. It just happens, right? So you're going to keep doing the things that you know how to do because you don't have to think about them. And this is why it's so important to use the metacognition, to meditate often, to practice self-care often enough, so that you create that time to think about the way you think about the way you behave, and hopefully start changing the things that you want to change, that you decide to change. Okay, you decide to change. Not someone else telling you what to do. You make that commitment with yourself and that decision. Okay? So I guess reflection journaling utilizes metacognition. Yeah, absolutely. Anything that you guys do that allows yourself to be with yourself, that's practicing metacognition. That can be meditation. That can be going for a walk with yourself. That can be journaling. That can be creating your to-do list. That can be having a conversation with someone and sharing how you feel, and be seen, and be able to express, doing an intentional dialogue. I do that with my wife. I did that one yesterday. And guys, it's been weeks. And I was telling Sam, like, wow, it's been weeks since we did one, and we needed so many of them, but we just didn't create the time because life was happening. And that was one thing that came up, is like, I feel that like life happens so fast and there are so much stuff to deal with that it feels not important. It feels not urgent. It feels like not a priority. But then we sit down, we do it, guys, and it just changes everything, but we still don't choose to do it so many times. So that's the funny thing, right? Like so many times we choose not to do what we already know works really well, but we still choose something different. And that's what we need to start paying attention to. Like, why are we choosing that? Why does it feel so urgent, but it is not important, but it drags our energy there? So what can we do to change that, right? So back to my breath pause, sometimes feels like every other minute. Melinda, thank you for sharing that, Melinda. So Melinda says, is metacognition mindfulness? I will say it's very connected, Melinda. Mindfulness means to be mindful of what's going on in the present moment. Mindfulness means, to really be present here. It's not being worried about the past, worried about the future, depressed. Like it's trying to mitigate, remove all the emotions that we are feeling about what's not happening, what's not real right now. So bringing us to that present moment, breathing, connecting with our heart, with our body, being in a state of gratitude and really observing things as they are without judging, without labeling them. That's mindfulness. And then metacognition is very similar. Metacognition is a skill that we all have in our brain. It is our capacity to think and see ourselves like in a movie. Okay? So imagine that you are watching yourself going throughout your day. And it's not you inside of you, it's you watching yourself on a screen, doing and observing how you behave, what you say, how you feel, your body language, all those things. That's metacognition. It's your ability to reflect, your ability to connect with what's really happening, and your ability to decide to do something different, okay? And set a different intention. And then this is like you have an animal inside of you, okay? You have an animal, a dog, or whatever animal you want to visualize, and that animal has been trained to do something, and it just happens, right? But then sometimes, if you want to retrain that animal, you want to teach him something different, you need to go through a process of, no, you are not doing this right now, you have to stay here. No, I am choosing to do this, so you come back here and stay here. And this is something that you can understand maybe. Imagine that you are trying to use your metacognition skill, and this is something that happens to me, okay? I am trying to meditate every day for at least 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes a day, that's my minimum target. So many times I don't feel like doing it because it feels like I have 1,000 things to do and I don't have the time to sit down, okay? And then I need to use my metacognition to tell myself, Emilio, this is important. Emilio, this is urgent. There is no one asking for it, but it's urgent. You made a commitment with yourself. So, Emilio, you're going to go and sit down there. Sit down there. Now, sit. I have to sit down, and then my mind is like all over the place. Shh, come back. Goes all over, come back. Oh, come back. Okay, I want to stand up. I need to stretch my legs. Shh, stay there. You know what I mean? I have to, it's like I'm trying to do something. Shh, stay there. I'm reteaching myself what I want to do. But my body wants to do something different. My mind wants to do something different. Maybe I'm thinking about the past, thinking about what I have to do, thinking about how I felt. My body's like, oh, my back is sore. Oh, my leg is, I have a cramp. Oh, I need water. Oh, I'm hungry. But you have decided, no, I want to meditate for 20 minutes. I want to practice mindfulness for 20 minutes. So I have to be here and I have to retrain myself that that's what I'm doing. So that's when you are using your metacognition to start creating a different program in your head. Instead of you following an automatic program and you are a part of that program, okay, you stay away, you get out of that program and you observe yourself doing that program. And this, Joe Dispenza explains this really, really well. I was listening to lots of his stuff lately. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Joe Dispenza, but he has studied the brain. He does these amazing events and he measures people's brain waves and he has this strategy to get you to the unknown, to disconnect from everything familiar and to set that intention and to create a new future for yourself. So this is what you have to do. You have to disconnect from the person that you have been until now and the programs that you have followed on autopilot, and you have to bring awareness to the present moment and decide to do something different and start doing something different. Okay, I am very honored to say that I am going to one of his week events in September in Niagara Falls. I signed up for it and I have already my tickets and my accommodation, and I am taking the pre-course that is a requirement, and I am just learning so much from that, and I'm just, yeah, that's why I feel much more inspired, because I created this course before that happened, and now I'm starting to see all the connections on how important these executive functioning skills are. Okay, you have to train your mind. Sorry, the comments are going really fast. What did I do with my wife, Caroline? I did an intentional dialogue. Okay, intentional dialogue, also called imago dialogue. It's a technique that we learned in a couples workshop that we did. And you can find, I created a recording here on Inside Timer. You can find a recording about imago dialogue, intentional dialogue. And you can see my wife and I, like, we do one live. So you can see how we do it. You can listen to everything that we say, the structure, and you can learn that. Or you can just go to YouTube and just search imago dialogue, and you will find lots of examples there. Okay? Yeah, we need to become an observer. Angie, very well said. We need to become an observer of our own acts, of our own life. And when we become an observer, we are detaching ourselves from what is. Because if you guys are trying to change something that you don't like about yourself, or maybe a habit, if you don't step out of that program that is automatically running, you're just gonna do the same thing over and over. But when you have the capacity and you create space and intention to detach yourself from that, and see it as it is, with empathy, with acceptance, with compassion, then you can decide to do something different in the future. You can get started recognizing, like, I choose not to do that again, or I try to be more mindful about this and I would like to go in this direction instead. So that's how metacognition allows you to change. Okay. Let me see what else you guys say. Amy says, I purchased a brain rewiring program to heal, very similar philosophy to Joe Dispenza's work. It is amazing how fast the progress is happening. Without metacognition, I wouldn't know when to stop what I'm doing and apply the technique throughout the day. Being present and stepping outside myself and witness compassionately what's happening. Yeah, beautiful, Amy. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Yeah, thank you guys for being so active in the chat. Okay. Can you spell the dialogue? It's imago. It's like image. It's IMAGO. Thank you, Erin, for writing that down. Yeah. So with that said, what are some techniques, guys, to work your metacognition? Okay, let's just talk about some quick techniques before we leave the session, because we only have 7 minutes left. So I'm going to share a few things that I share in the course, and a few things that when I was studying this skill came to me and I found helpful. These are just some of them. There are many infinite possibilities that you can explore. Okay, but what I want you to get out of this session today, you don't have to do everything that I'm saying here. I want you to connect with something that you feel inspired, that you feel that you resonate with. And I want you to recognize something that you don't like from your life, something that you just say, every time I do that, it sucks. I want to change that. And then use that specific example to use your metacognition to start reflecting about it. And that's why, guys, that's why I go to therapy. That's why I have a men's circle that I show up every Thursday. That's why I do intentional dialogues with my wife. That's why I try to study all these techniques, all these skills, become aware of them, because sometimes it's a different combination of things that need to happen for me to be able to make change. I need also the accountability. I need the support. And I just need the clarity to understand, what am I trying to do here? Okay. Yeah, thank you, Amy. That's the book. The book It's from Harville Hendricks, and it's called Getting the Love That You Want. Okay, that's beautiful. That's the book that you can use. And there are many other people that they took that imago dialogue technique and they tweaked it. Like the couples program that we did is from John Wineland, and he has, it's the same structure, but he added a couple of things. That's the one that we share because that's the one that we practice in the workshop, and that's the one that we both, my wife and I, we feel safe using. So just give it a try, guys. Give it a try. At the end of the day, everything is all about giving it a try, seeing if you like it. If you really hate it, use your metacognition to really ask, why am I hating this so much? What is this resistance coming from? Because sometimes you need to go there. Sometimes when you have such a strong reaction to something, there is something underneath that probably you need to work on, you need to understand, you need to accept. If you are neutral and you say, that sounds interesting, but I don't think it fits me, maybe that's a good sign that maybe that's not the right strategy for you. But if you have a strong reaction to it, just question it. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling so charged? What is behind this? And use your metacognition to bring awareness to that. Okay? So Amy is John Wineland. It is not a book. It's just it's the name of the person that we did a workshop with. Wineland. I think that's his name, John Wineland. All together, sorry, John Wineland. Okay, so let's look at some of the strategies so that you have something practical to take home. Okay, today. So discover what kind of a learner you are. Okay, make sure that you understand how do you learn best when you are trying to change something, when you are trying to gather information to make a change in your life. What kind of a learner are you? Do you thrive listening to something? Do you thrive reading information? Do you thrive by having someone show you how to do it? Do you thrive by seeing a video on YouTube or a video of someone demonstrating? Do you need a step-by-step cheat list? Just become aware of your way of learning and honor it and request it. Okay? If someone is trying to teach you something and you don't understand, own your needs and request the way that you learn best. Okay? You always have a no, but maybe you get a yes and they do it. Okay? Become aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. Okay? And then use your strengths as much as you can and complement your weaknesses with love, with intention, with strategies that work for you. Okay? Don't think of them about limitations. Maybe you have not developed them yet. Maybe you don't understand what strategies can work best for you. So allow yourself a little bit of practice, a little bit of testing, and see what strategy may work. Okay? Always allow time for reflection. And this is metacognition. Like, it would be great if every day you had some sort of practice where you do a recap of your day. It doesn't have to take an hour, guys. It can be shorter than that. But having different ceremonies, different rituals throughout your day can help you bring that awareness. Some of those rituals, guys, I have a recording that is called Rituals to Bring Awareness and Playfulness into Your Life. And I share some of the rituals that we do so that you can get some ideas. But some examples, I have a magic rock on my bedside table. And every time I look at that rock when I go to bed, I will reflect about what is my magic experience today. What is the experience that warmed my heart today? Okay, and sometimes it's a look from my daughter. Sometimes it's the breeze that I felt when I was on my electric skateboard going to the library. Sometimes it's like it allows you time to reflect about your day and say, wow, do a scan. I like that. I didn't like that. I like that. I love that. So that's my magic rock. And I will ask my wife, hey, Samantha, what is your magic rock today? And she will do that to me. So that's an opportunity for us to have a quick chat before going to bed and connect, okay? That's just one example of many. And you guys can find different strategies to do this, okay? There is not a right or wrong way of doing this. Just allow yourself the time to test. to practice. Okay? Become aware of your energy cycles and the way you schedule your day. Okay? There is this concept that is called your circadian rhythm, and it's a rhythm that repeats every 24 hours in the day. It's very important that you become aware of how do you perform, how do you work throughout the day, how is your energy level change and fluctuates throughout the day. Once you understand that, you are going to use your metacognition to reflect about, when am I trying to do something that is intellectual? When am I trying to do something that is physical? How can I tweak my day in a way that will make me feel better? I will honor more my energy levels, and just start being more intentional. And you will use your metacognition for that. Okay? Your physical surroundings can have a huge impact in how you feel and how you use your metacognition skill. If you have a place that is cluttered and you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel safe, and you just feel distracted, that's a recipe for you to never find the time to be calm with yourself. So become aware of how you feel. Maybe you need to step out of your home and go somewhere else when you want to do a practice until you have the ability to create a home that you feel safe in. And if you are looking to do that, I have a full course about how to create your peaceful and clutter-free home. But just notice how you feel, okay, about your physical surroundings. What do you need to change for you to feel better? Okay? One more. Learn how to become aware of your own needs. Okay? You need to understand what your needs are. You need to understand what you need from people, what you need from yourself, and you need to start honoring those needs. Okay? I need time with myself every day, at least 1 or 2 hours. I need that. If I don't get that, I don't function well. That's one of my own needs. My wife knows that need. I know my wife's needs. I know what she needs. We create together an ideal week. We share what we need and what we don't like, what we are aspiring for. So understanding each other and understanding what we really need and sharing those needs clearly with the people that support you and love you in your life, it's very important. The more you do that, the more support you are going to get, and the more ability you are going to have to make progress and keep using your metacognition to develop those needs, to create boundaries that you may need, to change the way you communicate, to change your physical space so that it allows you to become the person that you want, eliminate distractions. So all those things will happen more easily when you communicate more clearly and you are aware of your own needs. But you have to do that work. No one else is going to know what your needs are but you. And you are going to find about those needs by spending time with yourself, by using the metacognition skill in whatever way works for you. It doesn't have to be crossing your legs, closing your eyes, and meditation. If that doesn't appeal to you, find a different way of doing it. It can be an active meditation, but set the intention when you are doing that. Sometimes people go for a run and their intention is not to go for a run and do physical exercise. Their intention is, I am going to go for a run, and when I am running, I am going to think about this. I am going to reflect about that experience. I am going to brainstorm ideas on what to do differently next time that happens. And they are rehearsing things in their mind. Maybe they are stating affirmations. Maybe they are visualizing a new future that they want to create. They are running, but they are not running. So you get the difference. It's all about intention, okay? You can be doing laundry intentionally and use that time of folding the laundry, drying the laundry, putting it back in the closet, and you can be practicing mindfulness at the same time. So something that is a chore all of a sudden becomes your mindful moment, if that's the only thing that you have. Because sometimes if you have kids, you have a full-time job, you don't have the luxury of having extra hours every day. But you can still find ways to include metacognition in your recipe, in your life, okay? Accept and embrace your current situation. Very, very, very important, guys. This is probably the last that I'm gonna share. Accept and embrace where you are at right now. Fully. You need to forgive yourself. Okay? You need to find that energy inside of you. That energy that allows you to recognize what you have done, recognize what you want to change, recognize that maybe you don't know how to do it, but you are willing to find ways. You are willing to communicate clearly how you feel to the people that love you so that they can support you. You are willing to set a new intention, and that intention can be, I am going to learn how to get out of this. I am going to brainstorm ideas. I'm going to find different ways to test. Remove expectations. Remove perfectionism. Nothing needs to be set to stone. I am going to try and find ways to experience something different. And if they don't work, I will try something else. So this is your testing period of time. But you need to accept your reality. You need to accept who you have been until now. And really understand, why have I been this person? That's okay. You cannot change that. That's why you need to remove. So just think about this, guys. If you are sitting in your mindfulness practice, and every time you sit down, you are connected with what happened, with the person that you were, with what you did, with how you made people feel, and you are constantly energetically being drained and emotionally charged with all that, how mindful can you be in the present moment? Yes, answer in the chat. How mindful can you be in the present moment? Can you be mindful at all? Or are you going to be charged? Are you going to be energetically connected with that, and you won't be able to even think about what you want because your energy, your attention, your intention is drained with all of that stuff? So the only way for you to remove that is to disconnect emotionally and energetically. I'm not saying forget about it forever. I'm not saying deny what happened. No, what happened happened. How you felt, it's valid, and you can still feel it. But you need to make a strong intention. I choose not to give that my power anymore. And I choose to start giving my power to something different. So I do accept what I have done until now, even if it didn't serve me the best. I did the best I could with what I knew at that time. Now it's a new time for me. And now I have the opportunity to set a different intention. But for me to be able to move forward, I need to forgive myself for everything that I did, everything I didn't know, everything I neglected. And this is a new start for me. And I choose to do X, Y, and Z instead. And that's my job. So that's a clear intention. That's something that you should write down. That's an affirmation that you can create for yourself. And then you will read that every day. I created my life affirmation. I went for a weekend with other men and we had like a vision quest. And then I created my life affirmation. And then we did the exercise of what happens when you are that and what happens when you are the opposite. And when I did that exercise, guys, I realized like, wow, when I am not living my mission, I am creating something that I don't want to create in the world. So that gave me more enthusiasm, more motivation, more courage to say, no, I want this in my life. I don't want that. And when I'm not honoring my needs of doing this, so just think about it. What are you doing instead? What are you choosing instead? And what are the consequences of that? What is the reality that is created by that? So just think about that. And this is a work in progress, guys. Maybe it's not going to happen in the first time you sit down, but this is a journey that you're going to start taking, okay? Some people may need a lot of support, therapy, other tools. Some people may be able to do it by themselves. I always recommend have some sort of support system. Maybe it's a circle of people you meet with. Maybe it's people you love and you share this with. Maybe it's good friends that listen to you. Maybe it's your therapist. Maybe it's a meetup group that you do, an activity that you love, and at the same time you share. It doesn't matter how that unfolds. Maybe it's this circle. Maybe it's just sharing here. Own your needs. become aware of what you need and honor it. Okay? And guys, time is up. I went over for 10 minutes, but I thought it was important to, how do you make a life affirmation? I can create a live call on that if you guys want. I think it's a whole session on its own, but I have some content about that you can explore. How to create your life vision. I think I have some content around that you can guys explore on Inside Timer. It's very important because that way, it's really helpful to use this skill. Caroline says, I want to suggest you listen to free podcast, Brooke Castillo. Yeah, I'm aware of her and I love it. I think it's called the Life School Podcast, I think it's called, no? The Life School Podcast, I think it's called. I really love her content. She does life coaching, but she dives deeper into many, many aspects, and it's very helpful. I really enjoy listening to that content. So there are thousands of podcasts, guys, that you can listen to. And again, the journey is going to look different for each of you. Just keep learning, keep evolving, and keep saying, Emilio, what is your life vision affirmation? Yeah, so I'm happy to share it, and I'm happy to show you what I do, right? So this is my phone, and then when I created this affirmation, every single day, I put a reminder that goes on every day in the morning. So I open that, and then what I see is my affirmation. And my affirmation is, I am courageous, authentic, and playful. Okay? So as a man among men, I am courageous, authentic, and playful. And then my life affirmation is, I create a world of harmony, presence, and adventure by exploring, reflecting, and sharing. Okay? So I create a world of harmony, presence, and adventure by exploring, reflecting, and sharing. Okay? And guess what my animal name is, guys? Because I have an animal name. You want to give it a guess? Wolf. Okay, I give you a clue. I am a Leo. Tiger. So I can tell you my name. My name is Playful Lion. That's my animal name. And it just fits me really well because I like the lion. I like the energy of the lion, but I also like it to be playful. I like it to be strong but intentional, strong but loving. So that's why my animal name is Playful Lion. Okay, guys, I will see you next week. We're going to keep talking about executive functioning skills, and I have scheduled, I think, 6 or 8 sessions already of all the skills that we're going to be covering. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for creating this container of energy. Okay, and guys, start working with your metacognition skill. Start finding ways to integrate that skill in your life. If you have the time, enroll in my course and take it. Every session I do is one skill, and I give you time to connect with yourself. There is a meditation, and I ask a few questions so that you can connect with the way you use every skill throughout your day. And then after that, I share strategies, and there is a course classroom that you can access. You can ask any questions, share any specific examples that you may have in your life, ideas that you want to hear about, and I will be there answering with an audio reply. Okay? And about the recordings, guys, I changed the way I manage my recordings. Okay? So my recordings now, if you go to my app, to the app here, to my profile, and you go to the about, there is a link, okay, that will take you to classes.kwprofessionalorganizers.com. In there, /Inside Timer. In there, you will find that all the recordings are in there. You will find the access to the courses, and you will find I created a membership where you can just pay $5 a month, and then you have access to all the recordings that I have done until now. So I decided not to keep uploading them to Insight Timer because I am cluttering Insight Timer with really long form content, and I am planning on creating short content now on Insight Timer, maybe 5 to 15 minutes tops of very specific topic, so that it's more helpful and it's a faster consumption of, and I am keeping my recordings in that membership. Okay. And same with my podcast. I got some feedback from people, and they told me that podcast was too long, that they didn't have the time to listen to a full hour. So I have decided, and also because it's an Insight Timer and there is chat, and I miss the interaction. I was trying to create something for the podcast, and I was missing the interaction with you guys, and I didn't like that. So that's why I decided to just create a membership for just recordings about Insight Timer. And then I have the podcast, and the Insight Timer audios will be short form content, so that it's more to the point and it's easier. Okay. Is it video or audio? Right now, Maya is audio. Okay. If I have enough people in there and they request video, then I will set up to do it a video, but that requires more time and more energy. So I just want to get started with what I have, that is audio. And as I get support from people and people enroll in that membership, if that's something that people want and support me that way, then I am willing to give the extra time and maybe start doing the video. But I need to see support first, because it takes a lot of time and effort from my side, and I don't have a lot of time. So that's why I need to be more intentional. A video of Imago will be amazing. Well, that can be a request. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I will see you next week. Have an amazing weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday. Okay, adios.